2 Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid.
This is Dabu7, and just as grilling season kicks into high gear, we have beef prices shooting up yet again. So if you're planning to buy steaks, you better prepare yourself to pay more. And we're looking here at individuals that have been selling premium beef, chicken, and pork for the past 60 years. They're saying that they're selling at almost $30 a pound for fillets. It's the highest price that they say they have ever seen. So in terms of steaks, roasts, things like that, it's going up. We've warned about this for months and months and months on end. Sometimes I think some people just listen, it goes in one ear and out the other, and they do not prepare. It's off to the next video for entertainment. But people really need to get it together in terms of survival and what they're doing here these days. Their food supply, whether they're growing, doing something rather than just sitting on their tail doing nothing. Because this game around us, well, they're tightening the noose, and this is only going to continue to get worse. You mark my words there. So we've seen other sectors get hit and prices raised there. To me, this is going to continue, especially with the talk of inflation coming in and all this. It's going to compound the issue even worse. So I hope folks have a plan out there in terms of food, long-term and short-term. I'm going to leave a link, and I'm going to expand on this on the next live stream. Make sure to join me. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on D-Live, censorship-free. Hope to see you there.
Shalom, all praises, glories, and honors to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of great millstone who have taught me this truth, as well of men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy, to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the sea land of our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This lesson is edifying. It comes to us as no surprise. The jump in prices of beef, not just beef, but meat in general. It comes to us as no surprise to see this happen, because through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, we understand that, pardon me, we understand that this is happening because of what is known as inflation, which is the increase in the cost for basic goods and services. And not just inflation, but on the horizon behind it, hyperinflation, which is the very rapid increase in the cost for goods and services, man. Okay? And one of those goods that we usually buy is what? Meat. And as a matter of fact, there's been a cyber attack on the largest meat packing industry in the world. So to see an increase in the price for beef and other meats coming to us as no surprise. And this is happening because of a scarcity, which will lead to a famine, and also due to inflation. because the dollar is getting weak and weak as each day goes by. And hyperinflation will only increase that process. Now, this is back in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." And America, Babylon the Great, is that sown place. And the word sown originates to the word sow, which means to scatter. And America, Babylon the Great, which is ruled by Esau Edom, has scattered nothing but destruction and bloodshed upon this land. That is the bloodshed of the nation of Israel. And also, he sows destruction across the globe under the guise of globalization. No matter where he goes, his feet is swift to shed blood, because his soul, which is lifted up within him, is not upright. This man knows nothing else but destruction, because that's his blessing. The sword, which is an instrument of cruelty that is used to slay and destroy. So America is that sown place. But to be even more specific, within America, you have these different farmlands, these different superstores and supermarkets and grocery stores and 99-cent stores. These are all considered sown places as well. Scattered with food, filled with food. And very soon, all these places are going to appear unsown, as if they've never been touched, as if they've never been restocked or packed or built, because they're all going to be found empty. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, because very soon, life as we know it will change, because there will be famines, there will be uproars of the people on a very wider and larger scale for the want of the basic necessities of life, for all the things that are and that will be taking place upon the earth, which is exceedingly polluted with wickedness because of the wicked who is in rulership, whose hand, which means power, strength, the earth has been given into. And the trumpet shall give a sound. And right now the trumpet is blown. Right now, the trumpet of this word through the prophets and the highways and the hedges and on the internet are blown. Okay? The sound of the trumpet, these words, the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the scriptures, is blown. And shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? We're warning you of danger. Danger is ahead. But if you don't take heed to it, and really, if the Lord doesn't want you to take heed to it, then there's nothing else you can do. Because man's going is of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? A man may devise his own way, but the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, directeth his steps. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. And the trumpet shall give a sound. All right, the trumpet of this word, which is blown in the highways and edges, and also via the internet, shall give a sound which, and every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And the only ones that took heed to the sound after being afraid and suddenly becoming afraid are the elect. But as for 2/3, they disregard the sound. They mock at it, they scoff at it, they scorn at it. So for that reason, they're going to eat the fruits of their own doings, their own goings. Because when the Lord begins to render judgments through the wicked, they're going to begin to cry to the Lord, but he's not going to hear them. Micah chapter 3, verse 4, then shall they cry unto the Lord, Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. And a part of those doings is not taking heed to the trumpet, not taking heed to the sound of it. Because our people are very sottish and very hard-headed and inconsiderate. Isaiah 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. No matter how much they're told, no matter how much they're warned, they still don't consider. They're stubborn as an ox, as an ass. And these are two of the most dumbest and stubbornest of animals. Yet Israel doeth not know Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, as an ox and an ass would know their owner and master's crib respectively. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. And not only don't they know Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but they don't even consider to know. They don't even consider their own ways, because they're sottish. Jeremiah 4 verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, hard-headed children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And so, to do that which is evil is easy for 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But to do that which is good is hard, because they have no knowledge of that which is good according to the scriptures. And that's why they're going to die by the sword. Amos chapter 9 verse 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil which they are wise to do, but when evil times come upon them, when bad times come upon them, shall not overtake nor prevent us. So when the days of reckoning come, they're going to die by the sword. Okay, so I'll conclude the lesson here. I just wanted to make it very short and sweet. Lord's willing, it was edifying to the elect. This is just simply an update as to what's been going on in the news. And so with that, shalom to the elect.